1 in 2. That's the fraction of people arrested for serious crimes in Japan. Robbery, fraud, drug trafficking. Who got their first instruction not from a crime boss in a back alley, but from a post on Instagram or X, or a private message in a gaming group. 1 in 2 didn't choose crime. They applied for a job. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how Japan's criminal underworld turned social media into the world's most efficient criminal recruitment system, and why the people running it are almost impossible to catch. But to understand how a part-time job ad becomes a criminal sentence, we need to look at what these jobs actually are. And what the police found inside those job listings is something nobody in the West is talking about. The term is Yami Baito. Yami Baito. Literally, dark part-time work. But calling it a part-time job is like calling a bear trap a hiking accessory. Here's what's actually happening. Criminal organizations in Japan, many connected to fraud networks and organized robbery rings, have stopped recruiting through traditional channels. Instead, they post ads, real-looking ads, on Instagram, on X, formerly Twitter, online communities, even inside gaming groups where teenagers talk every day. The ads promise what any desperate person wants to hear: high pay, immediate cash, no experience necessary, no real name required. What the ads don't say is that once you respond, once you send in a selfie with your ID card, once you share your bank details, you are no longer an applicant. You are a jikkoyaku, an executor, a tool. And the National Police Agency has confirmed what makes this uniquely Japanese. The system exploits the country's own social structures, its youth culture, its financial pressures, its deep discomfort with asking for help, in ways that have sent fraud damages spiraling for 3 consecutive years. Western media covers this as a generic online crime recruitment trend. They're missing the point entirely. So why is Japan specifically so vulnerable to this? The answer goes much further back than most people realize.
To understand how a social media post can pull a teenager into organized crime, you have to understand the wound that's been open in Japan since 1945. After the war, Japan rebuilt with extraordinary discipline. The social contract was clear: study hard, join a company, stay loyal, and the system will take care of you. For decades, it did. The economy boomed. The salarymen marched. Then the bubble burst, 1991, and the 30 years that followed, economists call it Japan's lost decades, quietly destroyed that contract without ever announcing it. Wages stagnated, Permanent jobs became scarce. An entire generation found themselves in furita, irregular work, no benefits, no future, no way to complain without appearing ungrateful. Sound familiar? This same financial anxiety is driving youth crime recruitment right now in 2025. Here's what changed the scale of the problem: the smartphone. Japan was one of the last major economies to abandon feature phones, but once the shift happened, especially the rise of Line and later anonymous apps like Telegram, criminal networks suddenly had a tool that could reach anyone, anywhere, for free. The wound from those lost decades never fully healed. The shame around financial struggle, a deeply rooted Japanese instinct, meant people in desperation stayed silent. They didn't tell parents. They didn't tell teachers. They searched the internet alone, at night. And the recruiters were already there, waiting. Everything we've covered so far suggests this is a problem of poverty and opportunity, except that's only half the story, and the other half is far more disturbing.
Here's exactly how it works. Step by step. Step 1. You're on Instagram at midnight. You're short on rent. You see a post. Immediate cash. Today only. No experience needed. Contact below. It looks like 100 other job ads you've scrolled past. Step 2. You DM the account. Within minutes, you're moved to Telegram. Anonymous. Encrypted. No trail. Step 3. They ask for a photo of your face with your ID card, your bank account number, your home address. Standard procedure, they say, for payment. Step 4. The moment you send that information, the job offer disappears. In its place, a threat. Do what we say, or we share everything. Your face, your family's address, your information, with people who will use it. What strikes me most about this is how clinical it is, how deliberate. This isn't opportunistic crime. This is a recruitment pipeline, engineered to be inescapable. The National Police Agency's case files document this pattern across hundreds of arrests. NPA 2024. Roughly half of those arrested for Yami Baito-related crimes were between 18 and 29 years old. Many had no prior criminal record. Many believed genuinely that they were doing just one job. And then there's the man at the center of one of the most documented cases. A 35-year-old recruiter, later sentenced to 2 years in prison. He recruited over 100 people, using this exact pipeline, targeting those who needed cash that same day, collecting their IDs, turning ordinary people into ukeko, money mules. He later told journalists he managed to repay some victims. But one person who was defrauded died from the stress of what happened to them. Think about that for a moment. A person responded to a social media post, and someone is dead. And what the Japanese public said when they found out is not what you would expect from a country known for silence.
I want to show you what Japanese people themselves are saying about this, because it's not what you'd expect. On 5 Channel, Japan's largest anonymous forum, one user wrote, "The only people who end up helping crime groups through Yami Baito are basically fools, the kind who can't think ahead and get fooled instantly." That's the punitive voice, the "you should have known" crowd. But they're not the majority. On Yahoo News, a very different reaction. Don't write this off as the victim's own fault. It's precisely because they're struggling financially and can see no future that they get fooled so easily. Another user, a parent, wrote, "I'm scared even talking to my own kid about this. The way they're recruited through Line and gaming groups makes it feel like it could happen to anyone." And that parent is right. According to a university student survey by Penmark, 9 out of 10 students say they know Yami Baito is a crime, but over half admitted they had seen suspicious high-pay job ads on their social media and hadn't reported them. And honestly, reading through these comments, what stands out isn't the anger, it's the fear, the quiet, specific fear of a parent who knows their teenager is on Instagram right now and wonders what they've already seen. Compare that to English language discussions. Reddit threads about Yami Baito treat it as a fascinating quirk of Japanese culture, a curiosity. They're missing the scale. They're missing the grief. The sentiment in Japan is not how interesting, it's how close. And there is one document buried in a National Police Agency PDF that explains exactly why this keeps happening, a structural reason that no prevention campaign has ever addressed.
Now, here's the part that most documentaries about Japan completely ignore, and it changes everything. This is where Western analysis of Japan often gets it wrong. Commentators see Yami Baito as a law enforcement problem or a tech moderation problem. It's neither. It's a structural problem with 3 distinct layers. Layer 1. Cultural. Japanese youth are raised under extraordinary pressure to maintain a clean image. The good student, the loyal employee, the child who doesn't cause trouble. Financial desperation doesn't make them reach out for help. It makes them search for a solution that nobody else needs to know about. That silence is the door Yami Baito walks through. Layer 2. Structural. Over 40% of Japan's workforce is now in irregular employment. Young people who cannot find stable work have no safety net, no union, no fallback. When you need cash today and every legitimate channel takes weeks, a same-day payment offer feels rational. Layer 3. Psychological. Recruiters specifically target people in in-group contexts, gaming friends,
line circles, school networks. They position themselves as senpai, an older trusted figure. In Japan's hierarchical social culture, obeying someone one step above you is deeply ingrained. What feels like a favor from a friend is actually engineered social manipulation. The shame around money, the structure that offers no safety net, the psychological exploitation of hierarchy. Remove any one of these three, and the pipeline breaks. But all three exist simultaneously, and nobody is fixing all three at once. So what happens next? Because right now, Japan is trying something new. And whether it will work depends on a question nobody wants to ask out loud.
Japan is not ignoring this. In 2025, the government rolled out 14 emergency countermeasures, new classifications of Yami Baito SNS posts as illegal content, faster takedown coordination with platform operators, and expanded school-based prevention programs where high school students act out the exact recruitment pipeline in front of their classmates. The National Police Agency now labels these job ads the same way it labels child exploitation content. That's how seriously they're taking it. And there's real evidence the awareness is growing. A survey of university students found that 9 in 10 now identify Yami Baito as crime, not risky work, not a gray area, but crime. That's a shift from just 2 years ago. But here's what I keep coming back to, as someone who has spent time looking at the evidence. The platform removal happens after the ad runs. The school drama happens after someone graduates and is already in a financial spiral. The emergency measures address the symptom, not the 3 structural layers underneath it. So long as young people face financial desperation with no safety net, social shame that prevents them from asking for help, and digital environments designed to exploit trust, the pipeline will find a new app, a new platform, a new ad. Put yourself in the position of someone who's 18 years old, 3 weeks late on rent, and alone with a phone at 2 a.m. Would you recognize a Yami Baito post? Would the people around you know what to look for? And here's what I genuinely want to know from you. Have you ever come across something online that felt like it was offering too much too easily? Whether in Japan, in your country, in your own life, did you recognize it for what it was, or did it take a moment? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If this video made you think about something differently, subscribing to Shadow Japan means you'll never miss the next one. We cover the parts of Japan that don't make it into the travel guides. Until next time,